afraid, got nothing to lose. Living life with nothing to prove. I'm gonna be a better version of me.
Hi, BMT family. This is Hamangi Pai Thomas, and this is
Sonali Pai Thomas.
And we are switching things up for this 40th episode of the Be More Today podcast. We have a special holiday treat for you. Sonali and I are going to interview Sean for an end of the year recap. Are you excited?
Yes.
So excited?
Yeah.
Great. So stay tuned to hear about what Sean has learned this year and his charge for us going forward. So let's get right into it. Right, So?
Right.
Let's go.
Daddy is a physical therapy.
Yes, he is. He is a physical therapist, the love of my life, the father of this darling girl, and the man who honestly really needs no introduction. And here he is, Sean Thomas.
Oh, wow. What an introduction.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi,
and we
Sam.
love you very much. And we want to tell you that you are the physical therapy.
You're the
I
best
love you
physical
guys.
therapist. Yes. Okay, so thanks for being on the Be More Today show today, Sean.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, Sonali and I wanted to take a minute to hear about your thoughts on 2020 and the year to come. And we have prepared some questions for you.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, sure.
Here we go. So what was your biggest challenge this year? And don't say marriage. And how did you overcome it?
The big challenge for me this year, first of all, thank you so much for all the friends and family who've been watching the show and listening. Appreciate the support. It's been great. The big challenge for me this year was probably all the unknowns, from COVID-19 to, us figuring out what was actually happening with this thing from the beginning, the vaccine that just came out and everyone's still being anxious about that and just having to work throughout that. I mean, the good thing about this year is that honestly, you, Pi, and Sonali have been integral in making my life easier. It's been crazy out there. And knowing that you've been home sacrificing work, balancing work and being a mom every day, it's really made my life a lot easier out there, because out there it's been crazy in terms of all the COVID-19 stuff and the fear. We didn't know what was going on at first with it, and just balancing and keeping people motivated and keeping people fearless to come and see us and to continue just to keep pushing, even from February when we started this show until April, May, June, July, August. All the months were different in terms of how we were navigating working out there and being in the field. I'm on the front line, and I'm not essential in terms of being in the hospitals, but we're essential enough to be out there working with patients every single day. And the biggest challenge for me was really just getting up and fearlessly going to work, recognizing that I didn't know what was happening with you guys, how you guys may be affected or affected by it, and recognizing that even in every single day going through it, I had to just put on my best and then come home and give you guys whatever I had. So I'm thankful for you, Boo, for holding it down. I'm thankful for Sonali for being so resilient and fearless during this time. But yeah, it was challenging. I was exhausted on certain days, just being understaffed, being overworked. But I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot about my own strength, my own resilience, the resilience of other people. And if you're like me and you've seen anybody who's been out here doing anything work related, whether you're working from home like my wife was, and essentially she's a worker too, doing things from home, or like me out there on the lines, you recognize that we have a greater strength within us than we ever thought we had. And this is the year I definitely saw the greatest strength that I've had inside of me.
Well, we are so incredibly thankful, Daddy, that you got up every day and went to work and came home and gave us 100% and didn't think that just because you were leaving the house every day that meant you could come home and give us less. And, there were definitely times when you were tired and when I was tired, and we figured out a way to balance. And I'm really thankful, because I think, the really something that was really proven this year is that we have an equal relationship. And so I'm really thankful for that. Sonali wanted to say something really quick.
And we love how when you do work, and we also love that if you're scared of talking, then you don't give up. And when you don't give up, then it makes you very brave of doing other stuff like that. Because other people like us really love your workouts
Yes.
with me
Mhm.
and other stuff like that.
Absolutely. We are very thankful for your bravery, Daddy. You said
Oh.
that Sonali was fearless, and she asked me if that meant, does that mean that I'm brave? And we feel that, Daddy, you are fearless and you are also brave. So, okay, our next question is, what's your takeaway from 2020?
2020 takeaways. So we had a number of people on this show, and they all came with different skill sets, different mindsets, different personalities, different backgrounds. But all of them had the same mindset of just making sure that they took every single second of every single day and made the best of it. My biggest takeaway from this show, and again, this is our 40th episode, so I'm just thankful that we've got to 40. This thing came out of nothing, to be honest. And in February, we had no idea that this was going to be anything at all. But it's blossomed to be in 29 countries and trending on multiple podcast platforms. And the takeaway I've gotten from all of that is that anything is possible. This is a year where we've seen a whole bunch of things happen, and things that were great, mind-blowing, and things that shocked us and were devastating. And I think that it's safe to say that during this time in our life's history, in our Earth's history, we as human beings have probably shown that we're the most resilient we've ever been in our entire lives, right? To go through all that we went through and to still be standing. Everyone has been touched by this thing, no matter what walk of life you're in. And I think this has been the equalizer for all of us, to see that although we know all these different things, although we can do anything that we want to do, we put our minds to these things, anything is possible. But we have to just cherish these moments, because life is not promised to anyone. I don't care if you're Fortune 500, person who has all the money in the world, or, you're the blue collar person who's working 9 to 5 and working 2 jobs. COVID-19 showed us that everyone can be affected. Anyone's life can change in a heartbeat. And, I'm convinced that we can do anything as humans. The human race is the most resilient race, I think. And we can do anything that we put our minds to, but I'm also very, very open to the fact that life is not promised. And every single day, I mean, that's why people say it's such a poignant term for me, because literally every single day is another day for us to go out there and make the most of it. I mean, the reason why I cherish our times at home during this time, and I was home more, I think, during this time than ever before, because everything just kind of stopped in terms of extra things, home care and whatever else. And I recognize that the real special moments are really, playing with Sonali, spending time with you guys, making sure that I'm Superman at work and trying to be that at home. And I talked about it a couple of times on various shows, but I really think that the takeaway is making sure that we spend time in making the moments. And that's why I wanted to have you guys on this show, because it's really about family. It's really about friendships. It's really about connecting. And, if there was no other show that ever happened after today, I'd be good, just because I'm always with you guys. So I'm going to do even better in terms of spending more time with you guys and making sure that we keep our family unit tight, because if anyone is listening and this has been a time where family has been the one thing that has been consistent, whether your family is one person or 5 people that you probably saw every single time. I mean, we saw my mom for every holiday. Every holiday that we saw was us going to mom's house, and I think it's those things that really showcase how important it is for us to cherish these moments, because every single moment we have above ground is a blessing. So I'm cherishing life. I'm cherishing every single day. And to be more today, it's not just it's a phrase, but it's also really a mantra that I'm trying to live, and we're trying to live as a family moving forward.
Totally. I think that cherishing every day and making the best of every day and every moment is so important. And you've taught not only me that, but you've taught Sonali that, which I'm really thankful for. Something that I just want to bring up that I think is a consistent throughout all of this. Sonali's saying this is her Me Too connection. She's throwing up her Me Too sign for you because she's connecting with you, Daddy. But one thing that I think you've sort of showed us is that what you always say, which is trust the process and be persistent. And I feel like you've been doing that so much throughout 2020. I mean, every week I'm basically trying to convince you to cancel your podcast interviews to hang out with us, and you refuse every week. And so I think, and as a result, right, you've got this growing, really interesting, really beautiful podcast. And so, like you said, you started this podcast back in February. And so for the last 11 months, you've dropped a show every week. Has the Be More Today podcast been what you expected when you started back in February?
To be honest, there were no expectations in February. Terrence Farrell, my business partner, was the first guest on the show. I interviewed him because I wanted to start the show with a bang and with someone who I knew what we were trying to do in terms of Be More Today branding wise. But in terms of where the vision for the podcast was, there was no vision. I just wanted to put on people who were extraordinary, people that I knew, respected, loved, cherished, had some kind of connection with in life, and that were doing extraordinary things. And that really became the model for the show. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And it's grown and blossomed to this thing that has connected people from various platforms, various professions, walks of faith, all these different things that I didn't even really consider. But it's the equalizer. Again, everyone has a story. Everybody has a story. And I'm not even saying that my story is amazing. I mean, you, my friend, have an amazing story that I do want to highlight. And we're probably going to put you on for the first episode for next season, which is going to start in January. But everyone has a story. And I think that all of us, if we just share our stories of triumph and of failure, right, failing forward, then we can all just progress and move forward together. There's no reason why anyone should be ahead of the rest. There's no reason why people should be making similar mistakes that someone else made in life. We can just learn from each other and share these stories. And I'm not one to always share stories. I mean, you are the storyteller of our family. So this whole podcast is really a challenge for me to be more transparent, to be more open to sharing my feelings, and to be open to, share my downsides and my downfalls. I'm not always one to put out there things I messed up on. But you've inspired me, my friend, to go out there and write a book about all the things I messed up on. So, I really give kudos to you for that, because you've gotten me out of a box that I was in for a long time. And I think a lot of people are also in that box, especially with social media and everything else that's around us. We just glorify the good things and we don't ever talk about the bad things. And I think you're really a pillar for people who are brave enough to say what they've messed up on, where they've fallen short on.
Times as I have, my gosh.
No, but just you're very open and transparent. And as you always say, your life's an open book. So, I take that. And, that's something that I wish I were more brave just to say, oh, the thing I messed up on this. And I've gotten better. I've gotten a lot better at sharing those things. Clearly, if I'm saying on a podcast with, thousands of views and whatnot, but I want to be more transparent and more open and more vulnerable to sharing those things without fear of judgment from other people. And I think that you do a great job with that.
I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I think that you said that you're not a storyteller, which is, I don't think you could say that anymore if you've dropped a podcast for the last 11 months every week, right? You're now a storyteller also. And maybe your stories aren't filled with as much detail as mine, because I am much more transparent than most, but I think you've come a long way and you're still moving. And I think part of what you do is you create a platform for other people to storytell, which is not often what this world allows for. So I think it's really great. Sonali had a question for you. Go ahead.
What did you learn from this experience?
Also, thank you for that question. It's a great question. I've learned that we have to be brave in whatever we do. And that I think everyone has fear when they're doing something for the first time. I know sometimes you get very, very fearful to do certain things in school, right? Sometimes it's talking over the computer. Sometimes it's speaking up in class. But even with those things, you've gotten a lot better at being open and sharing your thoughts and raising your hand and answering questions. You got more confident. And I'm really impressed by that. So, I've learned to be like you, to be more brave, to get over myself and to work on the things that I'm not good at. I think I mentioned on one of the podcasts this year that it's easy for us to focus on the thing that we're doing well. Nobody wants to work on the thing that we don't do well because that's hard, right? But it's easy for you to go out there and just do what you do well and work on that and hone that craft because everyone wants to do that thing. But the thing that you don't do well, the thing that you struggle with, the things that you're messing up on, it's those things that we have to put more time and effort into. And that's the hard stuff. That's the cultivating, cleaning that we have to do. That's the editing that we have to work on. And, it's easier for us just to default. And I don't want to default anymore. I want to be better at the things I'm not good at. And hopefully if I continue to do those things, if we all do, then we'll be better for each other and for the future.
Totally. So I like to hear that Sonali is setting an example for you on bravery. Aren't you happy about that, Sonali?
Yeah.
So what can we expect from you and Be More Today podcast and Be More Today in general for the future?
So Be More Today is growing, and I really got to thank our fan base again for those who are listening weekly on our Monday shows. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And for those of you who've been following us on YouTube, we have a lot of things in store for you for next year, starting with the Steps to Greatness 5K, which is actually going to start on January 1st. So we're going to take our holiday time together as a family. We're going to take a little break from the Be More Today show, but we're going to kick off 2021 with the Be More Today virtual 5K, Steps to Greatness 5K run. And if you sign up for the race already, I thank you in advance. Excited to join you in Prospect Park on the 1st. If you sign up, I'll give you information for that in your email. But if you have not signed up and you want to be a part of the movement at all, you can still go out there. You can still go out there either in your own place, if you're with your treadmill or wherever you are, right? Across the globe, and just on the 1st of the year, around 12 o'clock noon, go out there and just run 3.1 miles, run a 5K at your own pace, fast, slow, doesn't matter. Just get it in. It's going to be the beginning of a 40-day challenge we're going to put out there about healthy living. For those of you who purchased my book, we're going to be following the principles of my book for 40 days. And if you did not, basically the principles are very simple. You're going to be making sure that you get hydration. So drinking half of your body weight in water in ounces every single day. Getting in your workouts, at least 4 to 5 days of moderate activity to 30 minutes of working out for 40 days. Getting your sleep, 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single day for 40 days. And just watching how you eat. Some of us do intermittent fasting, which is something that, again, consult your doctor about that if it's best for you or not. But just healthy eating. Some friends of mine are taking out refined sugar for 30 days and those kind of things. It's a great time just to start doing those things. So we're going to kick off 2021 in style with that. But even beyond that, we're going to be doing some more workouts on YouTube and some live workouts, some virtual workouts on our Facebook pages. We have a couple of different things in terms of some food ideas, and my wife is going to be possibly the person to share some of her cooking and baking ideas with us with something that we call Be More Today Eats, so BMT Eats. It's going to be really, really exciting. So look forward to that. And again, we're going to be putting out there more and more content because I think the best thing for us to do is just to learn from each other. And all the people we have on the show have great content to share. I mean, we've had financial people on the show, health people, people in the music industry, film industry, everyone legal perspective. We have a lot of people who have done a lot of great things. So we got to share that. And we're going to be sharing more content with you guys on our YouTube pages and on the show as well. I got some great guests signed up for you for next year. So it's going to be a power-packed year. And, we said that for 2020. We said 2020, perfect vision, all this stuff, right? And then we saw how it went. So I can't guarantee anything, but I can assure you, at least on my end, that no matter what happens, we're going to continue just to be positive. We're going to continue to take every day for what it is and to put our best foot forward. And at the end of the day, that's all I really ask everybody to do, whether you're successful in it or not, whether you're the one who loses 1,000 pounds or you gain 5 pounds during the challenge, right? I wanted to see the effort, and I'm going to put the effort in. I just hope that you guys do too.
So I'm going to be out there running this 5K, and I'm going to be running it very slowly. I'll be honest with you, but I'm going to run it anyways. And I think a little person next to me is also saying that she's going to run the race too, right?
Yeah, I'm going to run it fast, Like me and Daddy used to play tag, and Daddy was running so fast.
Yeah, so she's going to run the race fast with you, Daddy, and I'm going to run the race slow, and you guys can wait for me at the end of the race, which is typically what happens, right?
Race is this?
So this is the Be More Today 5K that's happening on the first day of the
Today?
year. That's so exciting. So
Today?
you typically, Sean, leave your listeners with a quote. We're not asking for a quote today, but we are asking for a charge, because that is something that you are very good at. And you talked about things that you hope and expect for us and expect for Be More Today. But what is the one thing you want to say to your Be More Today listeners as we enter into the new year?
The one thing I'm going to say is press forward. I think the best thing for us to do, given all that's happened this year, resolutions are great. I have my whole start, stop, goal thing, steps to greatness, etc. And all these things are wonderful for us to put on paper. And I encourage you to write down your thoughts, write down your goals, your starts, your stops for next year, things you want to get done. Write them down, right? Make them plain. So write the vision. But I do think we have to, no matter what happens, press forward. Because even though we have all these ambitions for things to happen for next year, as we saw from this year, sometimes stuff is out of our control, right? Sometimes things just happen. And sometimes we have all these dreams and aspirations that sometimes get derailed. But we still press forward. There are a lot of things that you wanted to do this year that didn't get done, but you did other things, right? Some of you started businesses. Some of you changed jobs in the middle of a pandemic. Some of you moved in places that you didn't think you were going to ever move to. And some of you are still at your same job. Maybe you're still struggling there. Maybe you want to get out. Maybe you got into a new job, whatever. Everyone has a story, right? But I just encourage everyone to press forward. No matter what you're going through, no matter what trial you're going through or experiencing, no matter how high the bills may get or how high the stress may get. Because I was stressed this year. I've never really been stressed out in my life, but this is the year that I was stressed out. And I saw it trickle down to my family. I saw it trickle down to you and how I interacted with you guys. I saw it and manifest in other ways. But I'm determined to make 2021 a year where, come what may, we're going to press forward. Financial decisions, job decisions, family decisions, whatever they may be, we're going to press forward. And although people are excited about the election and all those kind of things, we can't bank on anything, because we saw from this year, nothing is promised. So no matter who's the president, no matter what's going on at your job, no matter what's happening in the world, we got to press forward. And that's my simple charge to you, to make sure that you have no excuses, as always. You can always make excuses, but just to press forward no matter what's going on in your life. And we always talk about failing forward. Pressing forward is the same concept. You got to press forward through these things. People have been through worse than we're going through right now, right? There were times where people were experiencing much more turmoil than we are nowadays. And for us to have all the resources in the world, to have all the knowledge in the world, and to still feel like we can't press forward, that's wrong. It doesn't make any sense for us to do that. We've come too far as a human race to turn back from challenges like this nowadays. So come together, press forward, push forward, and let's make 2021 not 2020, right? We can't say we want to make it like last year or this year was supposed to be, but make it what it is. Make 2021 the year it's supposed to be for you. Maybe it's a year of catching up, trying to figure out what you didn't do well this year. Maybe it's a year of pressing forward and doing things that you wanted to do this year. Whatever the case is, press forward and make sure that this is going to be the year where you can make sure that whatever you want to do, at least you try to get it done. Because some of us are still going to fail at it. We're going to fail forward. We're going to have hardships. We're going to have difficulties. And it doesn't mean that as we go into the next year, all of our things are going to go away, right? There's still going to be bills. There's still going to be trials, still going to be tests that you have to take. There's no magic pill or potion that happens when the clock goes forward. But the mindset can change. The mindset has to be different. And all I'm saying is change your mindset, press forward, keep trying, never give up, and be more tomorrow and today.
Well, so ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. The charge for 2021 is press forward. Don't take things for granted. Don't make excuses, and be more today and tomorrow. You heard it here. Thank you, Sean, so much. Thank you for being on the Be More Today podcast. We are so thankful for you. We are so excited for what's to come next year. I'm looking forward to being on your show. And Sonali wants to say something to close us out.
So I got 3 questions. One is, thank you for letting me go on the Be More Today
Show, yes.
on the show, and thank you for being a good physical therapy dad, for not giving up and trying new things even though they're hard,
Mm-hmm.
and press forward.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Thanks, Sean, so much.
Thanks for
Have a
joining
good
me,
night,
family.
everyone, or
Yeah,
a good
happy
day.
holidays and happy
Yes,
New-
happy holidays.
Happy holiday!
Happy holidays from the Thomas
Mwah,
family.
mwah.
Nothing to lose. Living life with nothing to prove. I'm gonna be a better version of me.